Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. A very good morning, good afternoon or good evening. Depends on what time you are watching this video. So today, hari ini saya akan just buat a very quick brief on the multi-sim punya experiment, particularly lab number 3, number 4 and number 5. Okay, since we are now on PKP, so the rest of the lab kena buat gunakan multi-sim lah. Okay, saya harap kamu semua dah tengok saya punya message dalam WhatsApp group, and all the instruction apa semua video yang berkaitan dengan multi-sim saya dah post, and I think all of you pun dah familiar lah dengan menggunakan software multi-sim kan. Okay, so saya be very quick. Actually lab 3 ke 4 5 ni kalau guna multi-sim, it be very easy sebenarnya lah. It's not very difficult, a very simple circuit. You just run a few simulation, find the parameter kan, and insyaAllah you can get the result. Okay, so for lab number 3, basically is on resonance lah simulation. For those yang tak buat face to face punya simulation, ada juga yang sempat buat lab 3 hardware kan, but for those yang tak sempat buat hardware, so today you kena buat yang simulation punya lah. Okay, so what you have to do is you akan connect kan, you just go through, read the lab sheet, a very simple one. You kena faham lah the concept of resonance, especially lah you kena baca dia punya structure dia, how to calculate the resonance punya all the calculation lah dalam ni. Okay, so procedure ni 4.0 ni is just calculation part, so you can do it on your own. You dah belajar dalam kelas juga, so I don't want to go through this. Saya akan skip through all the way to the measurement part. Okay, so untuk measurement part ni kamu kena lukis dia punya diagram dia based on figure number 2 okay, number ni. So you kena ambil dia punya data tu, diagram ni. Okay, guna diagram ni, alright, draw it in multi-sim and run simulation, and you kena measure lah voltage and current lah kan, voltage lah dalam circuit tu. This one untuk V2 sin berganti ni juga kamu boleh guna voltage source atau kamu boleh gunakan function generator. Okay, make sure you have the correct amplitude. This is the peak voltage 2 volt and the frequency lah. So your task is to change the frequency of the function generator or the voltage source. Make sure all this R coil is set to 0 ohm, and this is your parameter lah, 0.339 microfarad, 3 millihenry and 50 ohm. This series RLC circuit. So you need to investigate dia punya how's the response of the voltage across the resistor, and you calculate the current lah. Okay, so you change the frequency daripada 1 kHz kepada 10 kHz, and you read the voltage from the circuit multi-sim and you calculate the current. Okay, so then you akan plot dalam result dia, dalam graph dia lah. So make sure that lab sheet nombor 3 ni kamu kena plot juga. Okay, from the result from the multi-sim. Okay, so ini untuk part A, part B. Okay, kita tak ada apalah, part A saja. Okay, so from the multi-sim pula macam ni saya tunjukkan. Okay, this is the example yang saya buat satu menggunakan function generator. Okay, and kita ada satu resistor and satu capacitor. Okay, you just connect them in series as usual. You use this function generator plus terminal, connect kat R1 or C1. Okay, and then you connect the oscilloscope using this function oscilloscope lah. So kalau you tahu oscilloscope kita dapat kat sini, all the function kat sini, all the equipment is from, you can insert them kat sini, insert all the equipment from the function here kan. Ni ada resistor, place source apa semua tu. Okay, you know this already. And then if you want to measure, for example, voltage, sekarang kamu boleh gunakan probe atau kamu boleh gunakan multimeter lah, ada wattmeter, digital multimeter sini. If you want to measure, you can use kalau untuk lab 3 ni, you tak perlu guna oscilloscope pun sebenarnya, kamu boleh gunakan just multimeter saja. So make sure you know how to connect the multimeter lah. Kalau you measure voltage, kat mana? Kat sini lah kan, across R1. Macam this case saya gunakan function gen, dia measure the correct current voltage in bukan RMS value kan, dalam bukan peak you can measure peak and voltage and so on. But in kalau kita ke multimeter, you akan measure guna you can measurement in RMS value. So make sure that you know which equipment is suitable for your experiment lah untuk lab 3. Okay, so macam untuk function gen, you change the frequency kat sini, and then untuk oscilloscope you tak perlu buat apa-apa, you just have to connect them and then you read dia punya result kat sini. Okay, alright, kalau kamu nak guna oscilloscope lah. Alright, for lab number 3, very simple, you just run kat sini and then you can get the result later on lah. Okay, you can stop. I think you dah familiar. Okay, so I go very quickly on the next one. Lab number 4 pula. Basically lab number 4 and lab number 5 ni sama je If you take a look, this one LED number 4 is RC and RL, low pass filter, and LED number 5 is just high pass filter. Okay, dia punya instruction ni sama. Kalau you go through bawah ni, dia ada part A, part B. Okay, so untuk for example untuk lab number 4, okay, you akan simulate dia punya RC RL filter. Alright, so you connect, you follow sini. These are all the punya teori dia semua tu, you dah tahu. Okay, you have to yang part 1 ni, pre-lab ni, you calculate lah. Okay, gunakan formula ni, and then you calculate the transfer function, and from there you can calculate the cutoff frequency and the cutoff frequency in radian per second and in hertz lah. Okay, so and then after that you are going to construct the circuit. Okay, construct circuit ni kamu akan gunakan, kamu basically ada 4 step saja. Step number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so be careful, baca betul-betul. You have to simulate the circuit in shown in figure number 2. Mana figure number 2? Yang sini, yang atas ni, tengok betul-betul. Figure number 1. This is figure number 2. Okay, so this is your circuit. You have only a simple R and C circuit. Okay, so this is your input, your voltage source, and your output is just the measurement of the voltage across the capacitor lah. Okay, so you untuk jadikan as a low pass filter, you have a scope, oscilloscope. You kena measure dia punya function, punya output dia dekat capacitor. Okay, bukan dekat resistor. So kat sini yang kamu akan sambungkan dia punya oscilloscope. Okay, so after you sambung oscilloscope kat situ, and then you adjust the frequency, make sure voltage dia 2 volt peak ataupun 4 volt peak to peak. You set 100 Hz dulu, for example. Okay, lepas tu you connectkan oscilloscope, okay, and then measure the voltage peak of the phase shift. Okay, saya tunjukkan kejap lagi. And then you increasekan frequency. Okay, you adjust frequency dia, make sure the voltage is maintained, and then from there you can measure the determine the cutoff frequency. Okay, for example kat sini, so table ni kamu akan penuhkan based on simulation punya result. So daripada 100 Hz you naik sampai 10 kHz. Okay, you measure dia punya Vout. Vout ni apa? Vout is the voltage across the capacitor sini. Macam mana kamu nak measure? Kamu measure daripada output oscilloscope tu. Okay, so you measure Vout, and then you also measure the shift of phase angle. Okay, shift of phase angle ni kamu kena tengok daripada oscilloscope juga. Okay, since kamu akan dapat 2 graph, okay, maksudnya kamu kena basically kena measure both pada source ni, daripada sini voltage across the source here and voltage of the output capacitor ni. Kamu kena ada 2 signal lah, maksudnya kamu punya oscilloscope akan dapat 2 graph. Alright, okay, bila dah dapat 2 graph, kamu boleh kira dia punya what you call that, shift of phase angle lah. Okay, so saya dah terangkan, saya dah ada share juga dekat dalam video dalam WhatsApp group, that how to a YouTube video how to calculate the phase shift. Okay, so this one is dia punya gain dia. Okay, you just divide V out over V in. Okay, V in ni constant 2 volt, V out is whatever value you obtain here lah. Alright, and then after that you use this formula here untuk calculate dia punya gain dia dalam bentuk decibel. Alright, so after that you akan plot data dalam graph ni. Okay, you sambung apa, this is dia punya gain response dia in terms of decibel versus frequency. This is the frequency ya. Alright, dia macam semi-log punya graph lah. You can use this graph or you can use another graph function pun tak apa. Make sure you edit this PDF file accordingly lah. Okay, or you can use boleh juga gunakan plotkan dalam gunakan Excel ke, whichever yang boleh. Alright, and this one is a phase shift punya response. Okay, ya, pada phase shift yang calculate kat sini. Okay, so basically yang graph bawah ni A dan B ni is just you obtain from the table kat sini, table 2. Okay, so how about dia punya multi-sim simulation? Simple sebenarnya. Saya tunjukkan satu example. Saya tunjukkan sebab, okay, before that let me go to lab 5 kejap. Okay, so kamu tengok lab number 5 ni is high pass filter. Okay, kalau kamu tengok dia punya procedure je, you go through the calculation ni. Of course formula dia berbeza lah, all the different formula for high pass filter. Okay, tengok yang part 1 dia kena gunakan R and C, but now you punya circuit je measurement output is across the resistor. Okay, so across the resistor. So right now if you look at dia punya instruction semua lebih kurang sama. Dia punya procedure untuk pun sama, cuma beza dia circuit diagram sahaja, and where you are you going to measure the voltage output. Okay, so and then ada juga yang step dia sama je, table yang sama, okay? Plot yang sama. And then for yang RL pula untuk high pass tadi pun, yang lab 4 tadi pun ada part A. Tadi yang part A ialah RC, and then part B dia RL. Dua-dua gunakan untuk low pass filter. Okay, so cuma circuit yang berbeza saja, but you will need to do the same process. You do the same step 1, you connectkan dua oscilloscope, cuma you tukar-tukar circuit sahaja. Alright, so let me show you dia punya multisim punya example circuit, which is okay, this is lab number 4. Tadi lab number 3 sorry, lab number 3 and this one, sorry, I show you the wrong punya. So lab number 4, this one, for example, if you have an RC circuit, okay, so you connectkan channel 1 kat sini, daripada function generator masuk satu ke channel A, sorry lah, daripada channel A sini masuk ke oscilloscope, dia punya negatif ni pergi ground. Okay, kalau nak measure voltage of capacitor, masukkan dia punya capacitor ni ke oscilloscope, and then satu lagi pergi ke ground. Okay, so then if you double click, you akan dapat dia punya output ni lah. Okay, this is example of the output. Ni okay, so bahasanya untuk lab 4 dan lab 5 kamu kena tukar ni je lah. Tukar mesti this one mungkin inductor, ni capacitor, ataupun ni different value, ni inductor pula, ni capacitor, resistor. Okay, so dia punya setup dia lebih kurang sama, cuma you akan tukar dia punya ni saja, dia punya apa component saja. Okay, right, so make sure you know how to set up the circuit lah using multisim. And then when you run dia punya simulation dia, kamu akan dapat graph, katakanlah macam ni akan dapat graph dia. And then from here you boleh measure lah. Kalau kamu katakan measure, you gunakan dia punya slider rule ni untuk measure dia punya voltage. Okay, and then you measure the phase shift dia. For example, in this part kalau saya zoom in, dia punya phase shift dia katakan is the one kat sini, daripada sini dengan dua graph ni kan. So this is punya phase shift dia antara dua plot. Maksudnya kamu kena go back balik, tengok macam mana, what does it mean by phase shift. Kalau kamu pernah belajar itu apa, lagging dan leading power factor kan, dulu masa kelas ECF ataupun advanced, kamu boleh tahu antara dua graph. For example, this is dua voltage ni, dia punya phase shift is basically, you boleh tahu dia punya is the difference between bila dia punya graph pertama dan kedua ni cross dia punya the horizontal axis ni. Okay, so this is the phase shift. Okay, phase shift ni normally all in second, tapi sebenarnya phase shift ni ialah kalau kamu tengok dia ke kanan, so maksudnya supposedly is a negative value lah, patutnya dia kat sini. Okay, phase shift is a negative value. Okay, kalau kamu nak measure phase shift output kan, voltage, sebab dia punya kalau input dia always start from 0. Okay, dia punya reference kita lah, reference kita input voltage is always start from 0, so phase shift dia kosong. So untuk output, so dia ada phase shift around this value here in terms of second. Then you need to convert that in terms of angle lah, gunakan formula yang saya tunjuk dalam dalam video example dalam YouTube tu. Okay, so go back and see, for example, Ismail dia punya phase shift dia ialah minus 15.39 microsecond. So you convert that microsecond into degree angle darjah, which is I think angle equals to frequency multiplied by dia punya time dia multiplied by 360. I think so lah. You go and check again. Alright, so this is how you measure the phase shift. And then if you want to measure dia punya voltage output dia, okay, this is, for example, yang green ni, hijau ni ialah input, yang merah ni output. So you push the cursor kat sini lah, ke tengah ni, So from here to here is the peak voltage lah. So kalau katakan tak terang, you can zoom in. How to zoom in? You boleh adjust dia punya scale voltage dia. Okay, kamu katakan naikkan scale voltage dia, ataupun kamu nak, time dia katakan sini kan, time division kamu nak panjangkan sikit, pendekkan sikit. Okay, so here you can zoom better on the peak voltage lah. Okay, so here kalau katakan on channel B, I think this is around kalau tengok voltage dia around 192 millivolt, for example, so make sure you capture this lah. Okay, so you can record the voltage output is that voltage here kat bawah ni. Alright, so be careful bila you gerak-gerakkan dia punya slider ni, you akan dapat both measurement tau, both channel A dan B. So you kena tahu which one channel goes to which graph, and we refer to which voltage, sama ada voltage source ataupun voltage dekat apa ni tu Allah dekat resistor, capacitor or inductor. Okay, so be very careful on the voltage kat mana yang aku pilih lah. Depend on channel, sebab di channel A, channel B ni bergantung kepada dia punya circuit sini. Macam ni, channel A dia is the voltage dekat function gen, the source voltage. Channel B is the capacitor voltage. Okay, so this is example lah, RC yang 4 bit. So untuk part B, untuk Elec 5, so dia punya configuration dia berbeza. So A mungkin pergi tempat lain. Okay, alright, so basically itu saja yang saya nak terangkan for briefing for untuk lab 3, 4 and 5. Okay, let me go back tadi. Sekali lagi saya reverse sikit. Untuk lab number 3 tadi saya tunjukkan eksperimen yang lain tadi. So this one is lab number 4. So lab number 3 is this diagram sebenarnya. So kamu boleh tengok sini example saya dapat ni. So you have an RLC circuit, you have function gen and the multimeter here across this resistor here, and another oscilloscope lah. So oscilloscope ni optional sebenarnya, kamu boleh gunakan atau tidak, because lab number 3 tak perlu guna oscilloscope. Kamu perlu just gunakan multimeter lah untuk measure dia punya voltage here, VR here. So kamu boleh gunakan oscilloscope juga, tak ada masalah lah. Tapi dalam eksperimen ni it's not mandatory. As long as you can get VR voltage dia and you can change the frequency, then that should be fine. Okay, you follow dia punya this one to peak voltage, and then you follow dia punya circuit diagram dia lah, yang diterangkan kat sini. Alright. Okay, so how to measure the voltage, the current here, I think I leave up to you to explore the multisim software. Don't be afraid untuk check all these different equipment here kan, untuk measurement. So jangan takut, just explore je. You don't have to draw something like this. Make sure you draw them properly. Okay, make sure you label the diagram properly. So untuk lab submission, as I said, you kena isi lab sheet ni semua ni. And then on top of that, you kena buat video lah, a very short video. You kena terangkan macam mana you come up, maksudnya you kena terangkan macam saya ni lah. Okay, mula-mula buka ni pasal ni daripada blank circuit, daripada kosong, daripada screen macam ni, kamu terangkan okay, macam mana kamu masukkan ayat dia punya masukkan resistor macam mana kan. Okay, you terangkan dia klik sini kan. Okay, so you kena share lah antara you punya partner. Okay, saya buat ni apa. Kamu kena terangkan juga macam mana kamu dapat result dia, again compare dengan dekat dalam calculation kan. For example, only one kan. Okay, you dapat dia, for example dia punya nombor 3 ni. Okay, kamu tahu kata for example dia punya resonant frequency dia certain kilohertz. So based on calculation, sama tak yang kamu dapat result? Yang calculate kat sini kan. This one you calculated all this frequency of resonance for example. So compare dengan result kamu, sama tak? And then you discuss kat bawah ni Alright, so I think that's all saya punya briefing untuk lab number 3, 4 and 5 for simulation. If you have any further question, please send WhatsApp or email to me, and I will try to respond that accordingly lah. Kalau boleh send lah dekat dalam WhatsApp group, kalau boleh tu general, so that orang lain pun boleh belajar. So okay, thank you very much guys. Kita jumpa lagi insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a good day. See you. Bye.